Top Dem admits Trump was right about TikTok and Chinese spying. That's the whole reason why I'm not on TikTok. Unless they, for some reason, clean up their spying, which I doubt will ever happen. You won't see me on TikTok. The whole thing. You can't trust the Chinese. You can't trust the Chinese way. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. When you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way you get all the notifications and know when I put out new stuff because I put out stuff sporadically. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There's a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out tons of news there to keep you informed. So check that out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. A top Democratic lawmaker told an Australian audience this week that former President Trump was right when he warned that TikTok was a tool of the Chinese Communist Party. I'm very surprised at this. Virginia Senator Mark Warner, I'm not really never was a fan of, but he's right in this instance. But he leads. He's the head. Who's the head of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence? Offered rare praise to Trump, whose 2020 bid to ban the app was blocked by a federal court, which is ridiculous. I mean, the Chinese government owns so much of our government. That's why they can get away with this stuff. Trump then tried to force the CCP controlled company ByteDance to relinquish its ability to access U.S. users' data, but the Biden administration shelved that plan last year. Again, how much evidence do you need to see to know that Biden is a stooge for the Chinese government? Well, quote, this is not something you would normally hear me say, but Donald Trump was right on TikTok years ago, Warner said, according to Sydney Morning Herald. Warner, during a visit to fellow Five Eyes country, Australia, to meet with Intel officials, political leaders, and business people, said the U.S. military bars service members from downloading TikTok's app. Parents should be worried about the addictive platform being used by China to harvest data on their children, he said. Warner listed the 1 billion active user social media platform as one of several Chinese-controlled tech companies that can be turned against users. Quote, if your country uses Huawei, if your kids are on TikTok, if your population uses WeChat as a social media platform, the ability for China to have undue influence is, I think, a much greater challenge and a much more immediate threat than any kind of actual armed conflict, Warner said. And I agree because it's mental. If they can control, it's mental slavery. It's slavery without the chains. And this is something that Kanye West has been vocal about. The mental part of slavery is what's going on here. Quote, China has this kind of technology domination in a number of countries ought to scare you, that should scare the heck out of us because we've seen the kind of Orwellian surveillance state they've already created within China. Beijing requires companies and citizens by law to, quote, support, assist, and cooperate with the state intelligence work. In 2021, the Biden administration, is still trying to work out a deal to allow TikTok to operate in the U.S., but follow Trump's demands that it separate American users' data and protect it from Chinese officials. Industry experts have expressed doubt that a workable deal can be reached. That's why you shouldn't use it. Quote, unless they're going to rebuild the system in the United States at great expense, sooner or later, when something goes wrong, there's going to turn out to be only one engineer who knows how to fix it. National security lawyer Stuart Baker told Bloomberg. And he or she is likely to be in China. So don't trust this app. I know it's very, very popular. A lot of people is using it, but be mindful. Know that you're being manipulated. All the stuff that's on our TikTok, they would never put on Chinese TikTok. Like the Chinese TikTok, they have informative stuff, math, the sciences, and stuff like that. And they limit kids' interaction with TikTok. Kids can only be on it a certain amount of time throughout the week. And look at what we do to our children. Our children is inundated with stuff from TikTok, some evil, corrupt, nasty stuff that's going on TikTok, and we allow our children to use it. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out themarkrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.